John Morgan and Mike Bond for MMA Junkie here in Las Vegas, UFC 229. And Mike, we were waiting for our first look this week of Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor ahead of this epic matchup. We got it today at the open workouts. Let's start with Conor McGregor. I know he's the challenger right now, but that's what everybody wants to hear about, right? It's the first time we've seen him preparing for a UFC fight in nearly 2 years. Give me your impression. What do you think you saw out there?
I mean, I don't know. Usually, like we were talking about yesterday, I mean, he's a little more creative with his open workouts. This was just very standard, traditional stuff, hitting the pads. You know, it was very cute that he brought his son out at the beginning. That was, you know, a pretty adorable moment, Conor Jr. And yeah, I mean, I think, you know, our cameraman Ken Hathaway mentioned that maybe the timing of him hitting the pads with Coach Owen Roddy was maybe a little bit off there, but what's to be expected? I mean, maybe there's a little bit of nerves for him. I know Conor McGregor seems like the unflustered character, but he hasn't done this in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the boxing world is kind of different, but for this, you know, it's almost new to him again. It's been like 2 years since we've seen him do this.
Kind of gave everybody a scare, right? He walked out there, said hello, and then walked off to do interviews, and the fans, hundreds of fans that were here waiting on him, thought they weren't going to get to see a workout, but we did. He did look strong to me. I mean, it looked like maybe he's packed on some muscle, and you get reminded of just how smooth his flow is and how timing is. When it is working right, it looks amazing. He was throwing the uppercut, he was throwing the knee, no surprise there. That's what he's going to be looking to hit Khabib Nurmagomedov with. So it's good to see Conor back. Now let's talk about the champion. Khabib Nurmagomedov didn't show a lot of striking, right? I mean, that's not necessarily his forte anyway. He did, you know, have a few throws, throw a little grappling, and then he even kind of got into it with the crowd a little bit. So what'd you make of his demeanor and his, you know, his performance today? Yeah,
that was definitely the most compelling part. I mean, Khabib, I think historically we've seen him not really do too much in these open workouts. He has a tough weight cut, man. I mean, for him, I don't think he probably has the most energy in the world right now. He's, you know, it's getting close to that time where it's going to be the final pound. So, yeah, the interaction with the crowd, they were definitely more riled up for Khabib than they were Conor. And I just think maybe that was a little bit due to fatigue. They were waiting there for a long, long time. It was like, you know, 3-4 hours from beginning to end this thing. So I can see, you know, maybe they weren't as energized, but Khabib looks like Khabib.
Conor likes to make a stylish entrance. He waited a little bit. Now, let's say that was the feature attraction, but we did get to see Tony Ferguson. We did get to see Anthony Pettis as well. And I got to say, both those guys look to me to be in phenomenal shape, in phenomenal form. I understand that's not the feature attraction here, but that fight looks like it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I mean, very possibly a #1 contender fight. I mean, depending how it unfolds. Of course, we have Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier hopefully fighting next month. But yeah, this is a huge fight. Tony Ferguson did what Tony Ferguson does. He comes out throwing a football into the crowd. He throws foam rollers out there after he's done, gives a media member a little hand roller ball. Like, it was just a classic Tony Ferguson. And of course, Anthony Pettis. I mean, throwing spinning kicks, all this crazy stuff. What you would expect out of Anthony Pettis. It was a good time, those two.
No doubt. Well, the open workouts are in the book. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fans. We're starting to get that big fight feel. I know everybody said, oh, I don't know if this is big as everybody says. Yeah. We're starting to get the crowds developing here, and you know what? I think we're going to see it come alive. We do have media day in the morning, but the two featured fighters won't be there. They'll be at the press conference in the afternoon. Khabib Nurmagomedov, Conor McGregor. We'll see them on stage. There'll be an audience this time. I'm guessing there'll be a face-off. It should be fireworks. Stay tuned. MMA Junkie will have you covered for everything here in Las Vegas, UFC 229.